这期感觉可能也挺长的，不知道能探索的东西多不多。第二本书应该第10章还是第11章，具体我已经记不清楚了，可能要看一下这个 Achievement Guide 才能想起来。Fuck， 机房又出问题了。Something went wrong。Steam 的服务器反正众所周知很垃圾。作为在这个 PC 游戏端这么大一个第3家服务商，居然经常会崩了。这第11章是吧 ？Skilled merchant negotiate well， 还有个 team player 什么？一个是 Knights Richard get a fight into with Alonso 什么？这是一个剧情。然后一个是 disgruntled buyer and do the following。它这个成就这里就不需要翻译了，因为我玩的就是英文版，不需要来翻译。之前有些鬼畜游戏啊，玩的是别的文，然后那个攻略又是别的文，搞得我的疯都疯掉了。虽然你这个脑内翻译也是几秒钟的事情，但毕竟要花几秒钟。So find Mag to get your money. Mag， 啊，就那个女的是吧 ？Leave market 这哪儿啊 ？Richard asked for money 啊，那 Where is he？ Philip 就在这儿。Petitioner， 这能过去吗？主人公果然还是这个阿莲娜 ，Sheriff Eustace，I remember him 啊，就那个。Be loyal to my father， 啊，就那个。
Good day, Sheriff. Will these people have to wait much longer?
If you have a complaint, talk to the Earl.
I don't think he even recognizes me anymore.
应该是看那个监狱的那人吗？之前 Petitioner Court Day。
If they hadn't replaced father, I could have helped them.
哼，现在你连贵族都不算啊！这里就是 Market 是吧 ？Philip。
Has the queue not moved at
啊，
all?
在下雪还是雨是吧？所以他戴个口
We
罩。
stand like pillars of salt.
Pillars of salt.
But I'm sure the Earl will accept petitioners soon. I hope it's before the workers at Kingsbridge leave the construction site because I cannot pay them.
这是谁啊 ？Prophet 啥意思啊 ？Everyone seems to ignore him, even the sheriff. Prophet. Wonder why. 生僻词还挺多的。Prophet。啊，一下子还没蹦出来，好像也是神职有关的。啊，是预言家什么 ？Prophet。
The end is upon us, but our Earl will lead us to salvation.
Salvation.
Is that so?
A hard hand for hard times. It will all make sense. You will see.
这才真是预言家。这个呢 ，Gallows。This Jack's father was hanged here. Is that true? Was he really a
They say that
thief?
Jack's father was a thief and hanged in shiring.
哦，这里有个人谁啊 ？Beggar。Clothes。哦，这不是 Mag 吗 ？Leave market。能直接 leave 吗？感觉可以吧？先把该看的人看完。Beggar，poor man。什么 apathic 什么 ？He reminds me of my father。啊，还真的是 beggar。Easier to transport, but fooling wool is tough and expensive. 啊，羊毛很贵的吗？那个年代。
Good quality.
Good quality. Customer， 这是 wool store。啊，可以出了是吧？当然主线不是这儿，可以先去别的地方玩玩看。这就是 marketplace 了是吧？这个呢 ，road Saint George 出了去吗？现在怎么现在建成这副样子了？毕竟5年了，差距还挺大的。哎，干嘛？从那儿过去是吧 ？road。哦，原来如此。这里呢 ，Saint George。Saint George 这个名字应该在英格兰肯定搜得到，这个太常见了。Saint George。
I don't have any business in there now.
这个呢 ，Flemish merchant North Gate。不过还有 Southgate 呢。Nice to travel with Jack。Southgate 不就是南门吗？这有什么有趣的呢？这个就是梗的妙用。你要懂这个梗的话，你就能反应过来。Southgate、Northgate 好像就没什么意思了。对 ，Northgate 确实没什么意思，但是 Southgate 就有意思了。 Bishop's Palace 还挺近的是吧 ？Want to get closer to curiosity beats common sense sometimes.
The Bishop's Palace.
啊，不用过去了。Living Shrine 呢？
No, I'm not leaving without Philip.
啊，这样的。North Gate 这儿呢 ，distant stone creature structures, Bishop's Castle 啊，已经在建了，还没建起来。What little Wereman could Wereman could build？ 能过去吗？能从哪过去？啊，这次看来也跟那个 Kingsbridge 一样，需要探索的。
The remains of Wayleran's castle.
Remains。啊，之前是不是说把这些东西都运过来了 ？East Gate leads to Winchester. Many craftsmen who weave and dye wool. East Gate leads to Winchester. 这儿呢？啊 ，Kingsbridge 啊，对，它的地图搬过来的话，右边却是 Winchester， 北面是那个 Kingsbridge。但城市毕竟有那么大。Flash merchant, monk, bread vendor， 这呢 blacksmith, girl carrying meat。这儿呢 tavern district, path。走的有点慢，他妈真的跟蚂蚁一样。啊，往这儿进去了。这个地图我觉得设计的有点欠缺。谁设计出这种方式来玩的？好蠢啊 ！Girl carry meat, carry a hunk of meat. Here, I only ran around for play. 啊 ，I only ran around for play. 毕竟你是贵族少女 ，princess.
What are you carrying there?
Not for sale or eating. Don't steal.
Don't steal.
Go away.
Delivery
I
girl.
didn't mean to upset you.
Oh,
怎么这么态度这么差
Where did you get this?
I'm not a thief. A man in the tavern promised me a bread crust if I fetch this from the market for him. I'm just taking a little break.
？Bread
You
crust
look
不是
hungry.
面包馅
Are
吗？
you saying I should keep it? Nuh-uh. Thieves get hanged. I'll be good.
Oh, of course. Do you have a family that supports you?
My auntie sold flowers, but she couldn't afford to pay the taxes. Now I don't know where she is. I'm so hungry.
Delivery girl。啊，不能对话了是吧？这问他肯定没用
Have you seen a group of knights?
啊，还真有。
I'm not sure. I saw so many people today.
It's all right. Have you seen a... It's...
Blacksmith。
Would you be free for a sales discussion later today?
Ah, Lady Aliena, for you I will always find time.
I've heard business is slow.
Not for me, it isn't.
Oh,
Plenty
really?
of knights need my services. His men have cleaned up well, I'd say. It suits me just fine that the Earl has swept the criminals off the streets. And those complaining about money and fees were never my customers or my friends.
Have you seen Richard and his knights?
They came by and looked at a few swords, but they didn't mention where they were going.
The town used to be much livelier.
Livelier。
That's because the Earl and the Sheriff finally stepped up and got rid of all the thieves and cheats. I hope you're not stretching your wool before it's woven.
I would never trick my customers.
Good. Then you and me, we both won't get into trouble here in Shiring.
I wouldn't be too sure of that. How much for a chainmail shirt?
That's £6.
Just for the chainmail?
Chainmail。
I've got to make up for those taxes some way.
哦，对话完了是吧？bread vendor 啊，这个 bread vendor。
Can I interest you in some horse bread?
Horse
Is
bread。
that the only kind you have here?
It's the only one that hasn't gone green yet, I think.
If you sell green bread, your customers will get sick and you'll get into trouble.
What? Are you with the sheriff?
No, don't worry. Everyone seems to be afraid of Sheriff Eustace. I always heard he was a fat and lazy man.
It's not him. It's the Earl. Killed a good friend for milling without permission yesterday. Buried him under the rubble of his mill.
What? Shouldn't you make fresh bread?
If I could afford it. If you bring grain from outside the town, you must pay taxes nowadays. My friend's mill out there was a blessing. Sometimes he even let me use it for free, which was why they killed him. And I can't afford using the Earl's mills here in town.
What is the Earl thinking? Why is he hurting the business in town?
I don't know. Better don't start asking questions around here.
Have you heard of Richard of Shiring, the knight?
Whoever that is, he surely hasn't bought bread today. Why don't you ask the sheriff? He seems to have his eye on everyone.
Monks.
Excuse me, do you know if something happened in Shiring? I know we suffer because of the war, but the town never used to seem this grim and hopeless.
No, we wouldn't know. We are but pilgrims in search of God's miracles.
And a saint who will heal my foot.
And my eyes.
Oh.
But yes, Shiring seems to hold no miracles
我说他
these
眼睛
days.
怎么这样？
We heard the Earl is punishing his people for his own entertainment.
I heard so too. How is your pilgrimage going?
Privilege.
Always moving forwards.
Privilege.
And sometimes backwards, because of my foot.
Good luck with your pilgrimage.
God bless you, good woman.
Have you seen a group of knights led by a man named Richard of Shiring?
No, we just arrived and headed straight for the church.
Ah, still, thank you.
Flemish
Aren't you
merchants.
tired of Christian art?
Christian.
Their sad faces and dull colors are always giving me a foul mood. Just like this town.
I agree. I'd prefer to see lush paintings of the fine things in life.
Maybe I should start painting.
What would your first masterpiece be?
I'm thinking fruits and decorative objects, arranged on a luxurious tablecloth.
At least you could take your time with that. Fruit doesn't rot that quickly.
Maybe I could sell my paintings at markets.
You haven't painted your first one yet, and you're already thinking about selling it.
Have you seen a group of knights led by a man named Richard of Shiring?
A group of knights, you say?
Are they perhaps interested in buying linen for a new gambeson?
They might, but I need to find them first.
We shall be on the lookout then.
啊，可以从这儿直接过来。这里我记得还有个地方，在哪儿呢 ？Tavern， 啊 ，Tavern District， 啊，可以进的。这里Tavern， 这里是不是能遇到 Richard？ 哇，这么多！哦，阿隆索，哦，这不是 Richard 吗？阿隆索和 Richard，Simon 还是 Simon？
I hear you will face Empress Maud's army, Sir Simond.
We will do battle on the beautiful grounds of the illustrious Lincoln Castle.
Don't say it like that. She'll think we're just going there for the landscape.
Ah, but what a magnificent picture it makes.
Oh, just don't let yourself get distracted by the beauty, Sir Simond.
As you won't be there, I'm hopeful that I can focus on directing my blows at the enemy, my lady.
Are you ready for the battle?
I'm very excited. I don't care if we win or fall as long as it's in the name of the king. What a glorious way to die.
I'll remind you of these bold words when you lie in a pool of your own blood.
It's bad luck to say that.
You're going to be there to watch me, right?
Yes.
这个就是 Alonso 说啊，现在也不需要那个找 Richard， 因为已经找到了。
Any other sights along the way?
We'll ride through the King's Forest. The crowns of the trees are especially lush this time of year.
If you wouldn't always insist on the scenic route, we would arrive much quicker where we are supposed to be.
I shouldn't distract him anymore. He needs to focus on the battle ahead.
这两个人好像有事情的，但好像需要解决方法，需要特殊的解决办法。可以先打开仔细看，简单的看一下。有好几个条件才能过的。Team player. Get into a fighting with Alonso. We fight him. Sir Alonso de Toledo. Some compare his swordplay to dance. A competent ally. Sir Simon of 什么 ？Sir Simon of Stapleford. He and Richard were fellow squires.
Any new information on Maud's army, Sir Alonso?
Maud army.
Robert of Gloucester will bring the Angeli. They are said to be 1,000 men. But Stephen will bring more, and we'll be with him to lead the charge.
Does Robert of Gloucester have skilled men fighting for him?
Damned if we know.
Victory and glory will be ours, one way or another.
Are you ready for the battle?
It's my duty to be ready.
Good. He's probably thinking about the upcoming battle.
Today we ride to Lincoln. Drinks are on me.
就开始喝了。
Taverner! Another round for everyone!
You're the best, Richard.
It's Sir Richard.
Nonsense. We're all brothers, right?
It is Sir Richard.
It is Sir Richard.
And here I thought you needed my money for new armor.
Oh, I do. A knight is only as good as his equipment. Have you seen Alonso's sword? With men-at-arms so well equipped, how could I fight alongside King Stephen less well equipped?
And inferior armor may cost him his life.
Only the best for the best.
So you should be more responsible with our money. How much do you need?
Hey, you should be more responsible with our money.
I spend it on my reputation. What's more responsible than that?
You are paying for other people's wine. Some of whom you don't even know.
啊，是 wine 嘛，现在不是 beer。
Knighthood is about more than fighting, Ali. It's a way of life. We fight together, we drink together, we die together.
Right you are. To hell and back we go. To hell and back.
Alonso, you make that sound like a bad thing.
But you could spend our money a little more wisely.
Do you want William Hamley to become Earl of Shiring or me?
What kind of question is that? If we're lucky, then he will never return from the Holy Land.
He already did.
What?
We ran into Robert of Gloucester's men. At first, I wasn't sure it was him. He wore the cloak of a crusader.
No. Don't do it. Please. Have mercy. My God, please.
现在怎么穿？现在怎么穿成这副样子？穿红十字军的衣服了，这威廉。
And then King Stephen called out his name.
William Hamley, join me. We ride.
King Stephen.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want to upset you.
You what?
This is not about you or me, Ali. Allowing the father of that monster to remain Earl would not only betray our father, it'd mean betraying everyone. William is a butcher, a filthy bastard without honor.
Mind your tongue. You speak of the son of the Earl of Shiring.
I am the son of the Earl.
Sir Richard, your father went against our king and lost his title and his lands. You are not the heir to the title, not as things are now.
What did you just say?
Oh, easy.
You treacherous bastard!
啊，这样吵架吵起来
Calm。down. Do you want to slaughter each other and help the enemy?
Accusing me of treason. You most loyal man at arms.
Me or William? Choose a goddamn side, Alonso of Toledo. Come on, choose!
可以很直 ，Maybe I can get them stop quarry 啊，就来了是吧？就这个支线任务是吧？现在可以先做了。Richard。
You disparage me for setting the
They're
truth.
too busy fighting.
I've always been your most loyal man at arms.
就吵起来
Why not?
The one with the biggest mouth, too.
Lead to guest rooms
I'm
and
just
other
trying to
luxuries.
keep you grounded.
It's for guests only.
How dare you imply that William and his fat father have a right to my lands?
But Richard's pockets are deep. If only they weren't my pocket too.
Now, can't you just agree to
Wine.
disagree?
现在是 wine.
Please.
Singing patrons.
Percy Hamley's title is a
patrons.
fact, not an opinion.
No right thoughts enliven me while my stomach's hollow.
You hear? Fill us up.
But you haven't had a right thought all day.
Maybe I'll be the next Earl then.
全部是酒鬼。
Oh, that's awful.
It is not. He does not deserve it.
Do you ever work?
The Earl burned down the old man's mill.
No mill, no work.
This is not about who deserves what. The king appointed him. You should come to terms with that fact.
What did you just say?
How's business?
Slow.
Slow.
Well, at least you still have your regulars.
Even in bad times, people drink. The Earl of Shiren has imposed new laws and taxes, and it makes times very bad for us.
Oh no.
Used to be well visited. One could barely find a seat. There were many more patrons. Taverns used to be well visited.
What's your secret to success? You know, running a tavern.
People will give their last shirt for pleasant distractions.
Pleasant distractions.
Especially when they have a lot they want to be distracted from. Would you like to order?
Oh, thank you, but I'm just here to see my brother and his men before the battle.
Would you like to...
Oh.
Quiet patrons. How long have they been here? What are they waiting for? Seem lost in thought.
I have to give money to my knight.
Can't we just forget about it?
No.
Rarely seen wine out of the church. Tavern must have a few rich patrons.
The taverner makes money with each tankard he sells.
Tankard. Lavish shield. A payment left in desperation. No crest I recognize.
I hope I won't need to carry a shield.
Shield. Father Star 这反正我还以为点的这个这 Father Stack.
Want to say something?
Drinkyard. Drunkyard. The town of drunk gazes into the fire. More absent-minded than usual. The town of drunk.
I don't have time to deal with drunks.
Can't we just forget about it?
是啊，酒厂是吧？这个要怎么说呢 ？After first talk to the bartender about the quarrel, and he will give you some bread. 啊 ，give some bread. 啊，这样的是吧 ？Bring back to the girl. 啊，原来所以这 girl 在这儿了是吧？啊，对，这样就有一个这酒厂的样子。懂了，懂了。你要把那个把这个给 bartender 说。怎么进了这个酒厂放这 BGM？ 这 BGM 也不合适。
How would you solve a quarrel like the one over there?
Everyone has their own way of coping with aggression.
Yeah.
Food, gambling, or
Gambling.
solace in the arms of a wench.
Some French.
Luckily for me, most resort to drinking.
I doubt that'll work here.
Don't say that too loud. Try this.
面包是吧 A flatbread soaked in dark sauce. Dark sauce, simple but rich in flavor. 只能吃吗 ？Dark sauce.
Would you like to order?
Oh. The taverner gave this to me. I don't want to ruin his business by giving it away for
Want to say
free.
something?
Never.
这两人还在吵架，然后把这个面包给这个小女孩。Girl carrying meat. 她不是
Would
很
you
饿了
like something to eat?
I only accept food from Meg. She's a tradeswoman. And the food others throw at me is rotten. But she gives me good food.
Meg is one of my best friends.
Oh, yes? Then I accept. I'm so hungry.
然后呢
You're so nice. How can you afford giving some girl a whole slice of bread?
I'm a tradeswoman.
Oh. When I grow up, I'll leave shiring and make lots of money too. So when I return, Auntie doesn't have to worry about bad men asking for money anymore.
Bad men?
Very bad men.
Don't you think you should take that meat to its owner?
Yes, I must. Just need a little break. Time to catch my breath. If you're in trouble, run.
Oh, but they're usually friends. Running wouldn't help.
Then Let them play a game to decide who's right.
这什么
Good idea.
什么 game 呢 ？Maybe a game will help you stop their quarreling. 但问题是你去哪儿找 game 呢 ？Suggest a game， 然后 use the game to just go around monks on the map. I'll give you a board game. Head back to Richard and give them the game. 啊，这样的是吧 ？Fully support。现在直接给他 game 可以吗？保险起见先存个档。C 兵哥。感觉还需要挺久的。
Do you have any games with you?
Can't we just forget about it?
No. Why would I take a game into battle?
To get your mind off things.
I don't need to.
看来不行，必须要找人了，必须要找人了。Lion and Lamb Kevin 什么？狮子跟羊的 Kevin， 还取这种名字？酒馆。那我就直接找他了，找郑杰。郑杰反正是 monks。那别人当然也可以一个问，反正一共就这么几个人。
Do you have any games with you?
We carry the French game of Fiège with us.
Fiège.
Oh, could I borrow it?
If you bring it back before nightfall, I see no harm in it.
这感觉是桌游。
I will.
啊，还真是桌游。Fiège, a French board game Richard and I used to play. 什么游戏？应该不像是古象，别的已经交流完了，然后应该解完了吗？好，可以了，这标志已经结束了。那来吧 ，Richard。
They're too busy fighting.
Can't we just forget about it?
No.
So, play a game. 哦，这么大一个，从
Now fight it
从
out
哪儿
like
掏出来
real knights should, with a battle of wits.
Playing a board game. I don't know.
Board game.
You're scared I could win.
Oh, let's begin.
Now, let's start with a careful opening.
Agree, be careful. 啊，然后就可以给他意见了。
Good choice. The general who gives in to anger will send his troops.
这两个人的关系还挺微妙的。
Exactly right, Ali. First, I'll focus on defense. Let's see what Alonso's got.
Ooh, well played. A classic opening move.
Now's a good time to attack.
Oh, sometimes victory lies in numbers.
我是快攻，
Often it
我
lies
是
in
快
a
攻主
single。soldier at the right spot, right?
Yes, and I play to win. And here I stride to victory.
You reached the end of the board.
What a crowning! I got a king!
You call this piece a king? In Spain, we call it a queen. She's quite powerful and has a mind of her own.
All right, a queen then. Now I can sweep the entire board with her.
Andy 什么 ？Be wary， 小心啊 ！Ari 结束什么？
No, don't be hasty. The highest art of war is to break the enemy without a fight.
Nonsense! I have to seize this advantage.
他不理你。
I've got a queen on my side. Time to rampage.
这感觉是国际象棋的前身啊 ，Queen 都来了。
When the sovereign has been claimed, the game is almost decided.
I could fight to the last piece.
感觉要输了。
But a good commander has foresight, and I can see this game is lost.
好
I admit defeat.
结束了，3步就结束了。
Ah, you ended this before it even began. Even a scribe would struggle making this an epic of glory.
This was about strategy, not showmanship. And it seems like Lady Aliena is an excellent strategic advisor.
Strategic advisor 。
You work exceptionally well together.
这里的发音很地道。
He never makes compliments like this.
很不像地道的
He's the
English。
tactician. I trust his instincts and experience to guide him.
But you yourself are an exceptional diplomat and businesswoman.
Diplomat.
You complement each other in the way you think.
对，语速比较快。
I guess you're right.
If you are wise enough to trust these queen's instincts in these matters, my friend, you too will indeed be able to take back the earldom.
Take back the earldom.
You think we can do it? So, can I rely on your loyalty?
对比一下 Richard 跟这个 Alonso 的发音。
Of course, we're brothers in arms.
Good. You've an important battle ahead of you. I'll bring you the money.
哦，解完了是吧 ？Filch a French board game used to play it。那好像还是没解完。Head back, Richard, and give the game. Afterwards, you need to fully support your brother in everything he does. 啊，这样吗？啊，已经解锁了，合作伙伴 ，Go moral support to the knights， 就帮助他们把这个问题解决完是吧？他们两个对音发音啊，他说不是他来自西班牙嘛，那更加合理了，因为西班牙语的发音是很快的，而且是没什么这个抑扬顿挫的，又快又平。 又快又平，所以他发这个英文也很正常，就没有这个顿挫的。因为英文英音跟美音的区别也是顿挫嘛，一顿一挫的。所以听惯美音会觉得英音很慢、很磨叽，就有点这个装腔作势的。平时说话你也不会拿这个普通话考试的这个发音来发的，但是英音就有点这个抑扬顿挫。所以你看 Richard 的这个音就相对比较能听清楚，那个 Alonso 的音就会乱一点，要还给他了，还了吧。 Fully support your brother， 后面还得帮他什么？啊，这要帮你。
You've done me a great
这
favor.
感觉阿莲娜应该是亲姐，我觉得应该亲姐，不像人妹。
Thank you for returning it.
We always pass the time on our travels trying to best each other.
如果是妹妹的话，感觉太强大了。性格来看，应该像是姐，应该像是亲姐。不过这个 Richard 的发展还可以啊，之前虽然那么胆小懦弱，在发了誓言之后，感觉还挺硬的。Some marketplace 回来了啊。Find a mag and get your money. Get your money 啊，对，你要拿到钱，然后才能把钱给那个 Richard。来。那后面反正如果说第3本书有些东西还需要补的话，那再补啊。如果不需要补呢，我就可能会快一点。就二周目，反正基本上也不需要多太想，基本是以成就为主。Wool store, a beautiful sight, dry enough to sell at full price. Most of it already sold. 另外一个需要干嘛呢 ？Talk to the disgruntled buyer and do the following. Talk diplomatically. Pay attention to the problems in the reports. Go to the map and show the merchant piece of wool. Merchant. 啊，外面有 merchant 是吧？啊，我懂了，外面那个对，是有几个 merchant。懂了。Customer looks like trouble. Some customers are stubborn moves. 要跟谁说话呢？啊 ，disgruntled buyer 就他是吧？那就是他了，懂了。这个任务是要解的。
What seems to be the trouble?
She's raised the prices.
啊，这样。
Is that so?
Is that
This
so?
place is rotten. Thieves left and right.
If we had ever agreed on what you say we did, we could just start giving wool away for free.
Wool.
Good to see you, Meg. I'm here to collect the money we've made so far.
Excuse me. We were in the middle of something.
What's the problem?
Even you merchants have become thieves. What a rotten place this has become.
He ordered the cartload of wool weeks ago. But now he refuses to pay the price we'd agreed upon.
啊，这里不能选左边，要选右边的是吧 ？Sarcastic 应该是讽刺嘛。Diplomatic 是干嘛的呢 ？Diplomatically， 这词好像挺常见的。Diplomatic， 啊，外交，所以我说。
Let's think about why the prices are so high this year.
So you can put more money into your pockets.
啊，这话倒也没说错啊。
Actually, the Earl has raised all fees.
这也是没错的。
It costs more to pass the gate, to set up shop, to get a license, and to trade.
伯爵收税。
But the price is not as was agreed.
这样的吗
Did you use a tally to record the price?
But, are you with the sheriff? Just who are you, woman?
I am the owner of this business.
Oh.
Here's our half, Aliena.
Now, would you kindly hand me your part of the tally?
我猜这应该是这个 customer 的问题。Accost customer address the problem, negotiate。这里要什么？要 address to the problem。
There are more notches on our part.
2 pieces, 2 different prices.
Granted, adding notches to our part would have been much easier.
You're admitting it.
But the area with missing notches is thinner than the rest.
You're right. It looks like something was carved off.
What? Are you saying I'm a fraud?
这里好像听起来挺复杂的，怎么个算钱的方法？
Look, times are hard for all of us. I won't report you to the sheriff.
This wool will not make enough cloth for all of my master's servants' clothes. Let alone all the shirts he wants for himself.
Whoever pays servants and wants to wear many shirts should be able to pay the price for quality wool like this.
Quality? Yes, but it is not high quality. Now that you mention it, I see it. I cannot pay that much money for bad wool like this.
就给你个羊毛了。
No, he's doubting the quality.
他只是不想付那个。
Then let me prove the quality of my wool.
不想付那个高价而已。
Just you try.
这个就是利益冲突而已。想当然应该还是 Meg 更诚信，肯定他不想付钱，想赖账。A piece of the wool we are selling, good quality. 他把 good quality 说成 bad quality 是吧？ Meg 先聊一聊。Partner in shiring, wouldn't be in this trade without her.
I'll take my business elsewhere.
You won't find a better price.
I'll find an expert and prove it.
这个不算是剧情必经的，你要少做了选择别的话，可能就不一定做成。
You're trying to rip me off.
Let us work out a compromise.
这两个人也在吵架，把这个问题解决才行。点错了，点了个 Philip。
Patience
is a virtue. 耐心是美德。这话倒没说错。Flemish 这个了 ，Flemish merchant。谁在喊？啊，是不是那个预言家？是不是
？Excuse me, would you care to give me your opinion on the quality of this wool?
Of course. Please show us.
Flemish merchant. Flemish 啥意思？
How wonderfully soft.
Flemish 弗兰芒语。
And what thorough scouring. There isn't a hint of dirt or grease.
The fibre is exceptionally fine, and the colour is even and light.
Suitable for high-quality garments.
I'm glad you think so too. Would you be so kind as to confirm this to a customer of mine, should the need arise?
Of course. Just send them our way.
With all these taxes and the shrinking markets, I wasn't sure whether visiting shiring would still be worth it. But for that quality of wool, I'll say it is.
Oh. Flemish 就是个形容词，怎么形容 English 啊？什么形容 French、Chinese 这个意思？就它形容一个国家，可能 Fleming 是吧 ？Fleming 的这个形容词，这么个词。那可以了。那可以再回去了是吧？然后把它带过去是吧？
Let's negotiate.
First you say one thing, and then you say another. Is this how you treat all your customers?
There are Flemish merchants just a few streets away. They were very interested in my wool, and they would be delighted to confirm its quality to you.
Anyone can let their friends lie for them.
这不选这个，要选这个 host public auction 拍卖。
Then we'll leave it to the people. We'll sell the wool at the afternoon auctions. That way, it fetches a fair price for certain.
No, wait. Maybe we can negotiate. My master would not want me to leave here with empty hands.
这里也是 diplomatic offer a compromise.
Let's find a compromise. You buy the wool at the price we believe we agreed upon.
Why would I do that?
I will guarantee you first rights to my wool next year.
The prices go up when more than one bidder is involved.
I know. My master would not be pleased if I returned without wool one day. He's got an awful temper. Fair enough. We have a deal.
解了是吗？
I'll buy your wool at your price.
啥问题解决了？而且1分没少。Hopefully enough to get us all out of trouble.
You've learned well. A good merchant always strives for a deal that feels like a victory for both sides.
I had a good teacher. One more thing. Could you try to get Ovid's Amores for me when you travel to Winchester? It's a book.
不会吧
Yes. I can ask Brother Theobald.
Theobald.
His book collection is more comprehensive than the church would like.
Then he'll be the right one to ask. Thank you.
No problem at all.
哦，成就已解锁，娴熟的商人，娴熟 skilled merchant， 协商顺利，确实挺顺利的。In Sharing.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise. Remember to come to the next fair.
可以。
I hope it's not going to be here in Shiring. You'd be smart to sell somewhere else.
这个地方是鬼畜。然后呢？啊 ，give money to help to Philip and Richard.
It's all too expensive.
Life in the Priory, not meeting earls.
Good fabrics.
Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
先给 Richard 是吧？这我感觉很可能只能2选1呢。Give him as much money as Philip. Give him less money than Philip. Give him more money than Philip. 啊，这里还要选的呢。我该干的已经干完了呀。暂时该干的已经干完了呀，那就 ，Yeah, as much money。这个我懒多想，就 as much money， 一半一半。这个果然能选，他肯定会先手。
Finally. I mean, thank you, Ellie. This will cover decent equipment. Nothing exceptional, but it will do.
Just promise to be careful.
I've learned a few tricks. I'll be fine.
Must you really fight? What is all this good for?
For father, Ali. I will save Shiring from Percy Hamley.
But who's going to save you?
With men like these, I'm afraid I'm already beyond saving. For victory!
For victory!
For victory!
I see. I wish you the best of luck. I'll be at the marketplace giving Philip his part of the money.
And make more money, I hope.
And there is still money left, but it's not mine to keep. 好，给他一半了是吗？ Give the remaining money to Philip 啊，有顺序。这艾丽安娜有点伏地魔的感觉。
And with each tank.
OK， 去找那个 Philip， 这样这张可能就差不多了，反正主线都没进行。Market Place， 给他，他居然还在排队。算，主线来了啊。
Here.
Thank you. It should be enough to keep our workers around until I have solved our problems with Percy Hamley. But Tom said that without stone and timber, we will have to stop construction in a month.
You must speak to the Earl.
Have you finished your business?
Yeah.
Yes.
Glad to hear it.
这样就进去了是吧？
Philip,
剧情来了啊。
I now understand why our market at Kingsbridge has had more visitors lately. Shiring isn't what it used to be. Steep taxes and strict laws have taken their toll on the town.
Is that so?
Is that so?
These merchants would give anything to do their business at another fleece fair, but there's none nearby. They need a place with fair taxes, one that can put those taxes to good use.
Are you thinking of a fleece fair in Kingsbridge?
Call in the monk and the woman he's with.
You, impatient monk. It's your turn. The girl too.
Oh,
me?
真的假的？
What? Did you want me to come with you?
No. We're not first in line, are we?
确实。
Well, lucky you then. Get moving.
直接进去了。
Philip of Gwynedd, Prior of Kingsbridge.
Gwynedd， 不是 D， 没有这个 D 的发音。Sheriff Eustace。
Thank you for hearing me, old Percy.
啊，他是 Percy。
Please allow me to introduce my friend, Aliena of Kingsbridge.
I knew it was you.
William Hamley， 靠，是他是吧？居然不是 Percy， 感觉要完蛋。
Oh, it doesn't sound like you missed me.
I demand to talk to the Earl of Shiring. He has broken his word.
You are talking to the Earl of Shiring.
啊，这个不会是 Whaler 人是吧？
Bishop Whaler.
来，这两个人联手了。
The enemies of this earldom have taken Percy Hamley from our midst.
Mother!
啊，被
Do
毒
you
杀了是吧？
consider yourself a friend of the earldom of Shiring, Philip?
靠，这还真的是
Friend!
真是刺激。
That damned monk is drinking the blood of my earldom!
It is not for us to damn them, Lord William.
这两个人联手了。
But judge them we must.
What you are doing to the people of Shiring is
速度
shameful.
好快的选项。
Your father would have done well to teach you respect.
The monk's a thief and so are you. And I don't take as kindly to thieves as my father did. Shiring will change. The king has never licensed a market in Kingsbridge.
Your market is illegal, Philip.
You are stealing my taxes by allowing my people to trade in your sorry priory, and you disrespect my authority!
Is that true, Philip?
I will talk to the king about this.
You, your friends and your brother have always played by your own rules. But not anymore.
Francis? Where is my brother?
He got what he deserved.
Where is he? Tell me!
Fracture for fracture? Eye for eye? Tooth for tooth? The days of Kingsbridge Cathedral are over.
Now leave. The next time I will show no mercy.
原来如此。啊，结束了是吧 ？Chapter 11 The New Earl， 新的伯爵啊，新的伯爵是他了是吧？是 William。Percy 已经被干掉了。这感觉既有可能是这个 William 亲儿子干的，也有可能是别人干的。我觉得可能性别的敌人可能性大一点啊。果然是Whaler 跟那个 Whaler 跟 William 是 New Earl。Aliena was a support and an inspiration to a young delivery girl. Aliena solved the sales conflict with a compromise. Aliena showed extraordinary skill as a merchant. 这里应该是有可有可无的。Sales conflict with a promise. 这个肯定能做完，但这个能不能 show extraordinary skill 就要看你选项了。Aliena split her money evenly between Richard and Philip. Aliena and Richard made a fantastic team. 这个应该也是有可能啊，这里是吧？啊，还有个 return。这个我估计对后面的这个公信度可能会有影响。就当这个伯爵恢复名誉的时候 ，Aliena returned to the board game to its rightful owners, the monks. Aliena helped Philip to pay his workers early. Whaler and William, the new Earl, declared Philip's market illegal. You told the truth in the past. Now Whaler has made Francis disappear. Disappear? 被干掉了是吧？Has made Francis disappear. 我靠 ！You told the truth in the past. 啊，对，是，这是还回来了是吧？当时我说了实话，所以 Francis 没了。Francis 被干掉了。大草原不可避。
I had assumed that as long as the market was held within the walls of the priory, and the taxes supported the construction of our cathedral, Kingsbridge would need no market license. I had made a foolish mistake. Now I had no option but to call on King Stephen for help. And as Aliena suggested, I joined the knights on their way north to Lincoln.
Lincoln. So as long as the market is held in the walls of private tax-supported solution, would need no market license.
More and more men joined our group. Most of them had no horses and no weapons to speak of, as King Stephen prepared for his final battle against Robert of Gloucester. He had ordered all able men of his earldoms to fight in the north. Then, at nightfall, our group reached a large camp of Stephen's men.
啊，这能选了是吧？ Go to sleep. Walk through camp.
Many men asked me to pray with them. They were husbands, fathers, and children about to fight in a war that most of them did not understand. It was then that I witnessed Aliena's brother Richard shouting at a man. The man was in tears, saying he did not want to fight and begging to be allowed to go home.
Admonish.
I told Richard to have pity. Full of anger, he told me that he would hang deserters himself if need be. Then the man interrupted us by shouting infamities about Robert of Gloucester and started to laugh. Richard and his knights joined in and began to cheer for the king. Richard seemed to me just as desperate as the young man, but he did not know it. His temper would not make him a just earl, I thought. But again, I hoped to see a cruel man win his battles, only to defeat a man more cruel than him, William Hamley.
啊，然后也只能睡觉了。
After a long first day on my way to Lincoln, I found a place to rest. I fell asleep soon and dreamed about soldiers. But these soldiers were not on their way to Lincoln. They had come up the twisting hillside path to our little hamlet in North Wales. My brother Francis and I had tried to outrun them and to warn my parents. But as always when I had this dream, we were too late.
啊，这里已经给你写了，是 North Wales，North Wales， 他在北威尔士出生，跟这个应该是亲哥还是亲弟的 Francis。
King Henry's men had killed Mam and Da. Abbot Peter came to take us in, just as it had happened so long ago. But this time, in my dream, something was different. I was 6 years old then, and Abbot Peter had not yet taught us about God. But still, I asked the monk the question, why did God do that?
是 King Henry， 但 King Henry 肯定是英国的皇室，所以是 English。他这个威尔士人被英格兰人给干掉了。从国家的角度是这样的 ，God has forsaken us, it was not God。选这个，肯定选这
And
个。
then I heard a voice answering the question, and on the ground
这不
lay
是他
my
吗？
brother, Francis.
我操！
It was Bishop Waleran who had answered, and he took my hand to calm me.
怎么这么可怕？这个
Then I realized his hands were drenched in blood.
drenched in blood。所以他还是信神，信神的结果就是 Francis 被干掉了。不过这也是我选的，我选出来。
I woke with a start. I had a very bad feeling about
啊，不过还不确定是吧？
I told myself I should never have agreed to go and see Bishop Waleran for him. Now I had not heard from my brother in a long time, and after Waleran's remark the day before, I was sure the bishop had a hand in his disappearance, and that I would never see my brother again.
是啊，不要抱太好的希望，能见到就是奇迹，不能见到也没办法。至少没有见到尸体，还有希望。右上角是林肯，
After what felt like
右
an
下角
eternity,
Winchester。
the sun rose and we continued on our way to Lincoln. As we moved, I remembered hearing that Bishop Waleran had been to Rome, and William had fought in the Holy Land. I told myself that King Stephen would eventually see these men for what they really were. He had to. And I tried to convince myself that God would make things right.
Meanwhile, 啊，然后视角切换到 Kingsbridge 吧。
You are late.
威勒人，谁啊？
Is it done?
哦，这里是吧 ？Monk 问号，谁啊？这可能是 Francis 吧？谁啊
The builder is dead.
Timothy 是吧？
What about the saint?
啊，这 Timothy 是吧？
I couldn't get into their crypt unseen.
You disappoint me again, Timothy.
啊，我说怎么见过这人？
Please, when did I ever fail you before today, Right Reverend?
Regan Hamley is alive.
Regan Hamley。 啊，这样的吗 ？Percy Hamley 是挂了。
She didn't.
No. Your poison has left her in a deep sleep.
啊，是他干的。
When the time is right, I will send our Earl of Shiring to finish what I asked of you. Kingsbridge will fall.
威勒人，不是威尔人，是威勒人。L 是发音的。Chapter 12, The Great Beast. 1 week later， 怎么现在变那么快了？是哪儿啊 ？Lincoln before the battle 啊，要开始打了是吧？反正可以存档了结束。谁啊？啊 ，Richard。
Hurry up, my friend. Or do you not want to see our king after all?
Philip.
I fear I must.
Then let's not waste more time. Come on, Philip.
Oh, I have to ask King Stephen for a market license. I have to. OK， 存档点来了 ，Ask King Stephen for help。后面几张好像没什么特别东西，先走一步，走一步可以存档。对，原地都不能存档。OK， 那比我想象的还稍微剧情没算太长，还能接受。Back to title screen。妈，然后是12章，12、13好像没什么东西。现在41分之18，我记得 Book 3好像一共10个还是11个来着？1个、2个、3个、4个、5个、6个、7个、8个、9个、10个啊，10个是吧？那是31是吧？31个，就第一本书、第二本书一共有31个，算上第二本书看完我大概是19个是吧？那还差12个，差的还挺多。就2周目需要补，但第二本书好像我完成的也差不多了 ，Prologue。Two of us stay together， 这做完了。A bush with death, escape the nights。啊，这倒没做过。First Prophet 做完了 ，Revenge 做完了。啊，第二本书其实一共需要打的不多，就一点点东西，我都能记得清楚了。哎，这个现在能不能做呢？我觉得可以做完。After talking with your， 啊，这 Chapter 9是吧？我试一下啊。不，现在不用 continue， 因为有存档点，所以没事。第9章是什么地方呢？在这儿是吧？可以试一下，好像要求是这个，所以我一张存一个档是有好处的。这里是吧？这里好像据说是逃脱与谁来着？对，摆脱这些骑士什么？死亡擦肩就是2是吧？就先过，就先躲掉。对，只要迅速走掉就行了，但这几个不是。是下面那些骑士，这些人 nice 吧？对，是他们。你要先让他们看到，然后立刻逃掉。
Over there. We lost them again. Find them.
好像成就没出来呢。他们写的可以吗 ？Lost， 这不就是 nice 吗？等一下，我确认一下。读档应该是可以的吧 ？A bush with death. After talking with our father in prison, leave and head towards the market. We see a group of knights there. Head towards the market. Leave the location as far as possible. I thought they don't catch you. 好像可以做，应该算是做了，但没用啊。摆脱这些什么时候来呢？什么时候要做来呢？啊 ，After talking with your father in prison. Find path， 这已经离开了呀，那再来吗
？Quick!
I can't believe it， 还能再来
？That's it. Where are you? We'll find you.
好像还是没抓到我啊，好像还是没抓到我的。哎，这不就是去 Night 吗？对吧 ？Market 在哪儿啊？Market 在这儿是吧？啊，懂了，是这儿是吧？懂了，是这儿。进去之后别废话，直接出去了。我现在应该来得及。
You're playing hide and seek with 2 children.
Richard, run!
啊，走了。死亡擦肩成就一手啊，这样的是吧？这样的做到了，是那些人是吧？摆脱这些骑士。乍一看，我其实还以为是这儿的骑士，原来这儿的骑士。这样第2本书几乎就快结束了。第2本书唯一没做到，唯一没完成的就是完成卷2了。啊，这样的话，其实我觉得光靠存档其实就够了，不用从头开始玩。那这样吧，把第2本书打完的时候，看看也能不能。啊，不过也没那么简单，有些东西可能有前置的，对，有些东西可能有前置。那第1本书我觉得可以从头打一遍，第1本书可以从头打一遍，第2本书跟第3本书就也许就不需要了。如果能不回来就不回来，因为很慢嘛，它是一张一张打到很慢。现在缺了一些，有些不是说你重新开始玩这张就能玩出来的，有时候可能需要这个在前面这几张啊，在这儿了是吧？那先这样。有些时候可能会有前置的这个东西，就比如说你第5章要做一个东西，但第3章你必须要先埋下一些伏笔，然后才能回来回收，这就比较麻烦了。这个就不建议这个一点点打了，也许直接跳会更好一点。已经到这儿就没事了，直接退了，反正到时候不行的话直接 load 就好了，直接 load 就行了。OK，Sowing the Wind 第2本书。